Well, it looks like we're live. Good morning, boys and girls. I had no idea. I thought I had scheduled this for 4 p.m. instead of 4 a.m., but someone kindly let me know that I had made this mistake, and I thought I'd go with it anyway because might have had to cancel the 4 p.m. one anyway, because I had the opportunity to go to Charleston for the weekend. I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I had the opportunity to go down to Charleston, which is about a 3 or 4 hour drive. So, Mr. H, oh my God, I'm so glad to see you. Hello, Mr. H, and hello, Ivy B. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah. Um, I'm just glad to be here. I figured I would get different different people from the people I normally get at 4 p.m., but it's 4 a.m. And I'm so happy, Mr. H. Oh my, I love you, Mr. H. Hey, Patty Pierce. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Ivy B. Everybody. I think this is going to be a great start, isn't it? Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, yeah. So as I was saying, I honestly, I really intended this to be at 4 p.m. instead of 4 a.m. Eastern Time, New York City time, but it was a mistake, really. But since I was awake and someone alerted me to the fact that I was scheduled to go live at this time, I thought, why not go with it? Because I can. And we're going to have fun, aren't we? It's going to be a good time. So, what else is going on? So, as I was saying, I have an opportunity this evening, or this afternoon, really. I'm going to be driving to Charleston. By the way, Daniel, you and Mr. H should become acquainted because you're both in the UK. Mr. H, I don't remember exactly where you are, but Daniel, you're in Aberdeen or near Aberdeen, Scotland, correct? And Mr. H, I'm thinking Bristol. I could be wrong. But anyway, you're on the same side of the pond. You know, to us Americans, it's all the same. You know, everything over there. You know. What was I going to say? Yeah. So, oh, thank you so much, Mr. H. Oh my gosh, I have to do this then. Oh my gosh, that is so kind of you. Thank you so much, Mr. Sabrina. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God, I should go on at 4 a.m. all the time, shouldn't I? I see all of these wonderful people. Coco, oh my gosh, Coco, I haven't seen you in a while, and I'm so glad to see you. Oh gosh, gosh, gosh. And the animation that I just did, that I just played, was created by Coco for me. And I love it because it puts my face on the body of a thin guy who can dance. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. Um, So I don't know why. So as I was saying, yeah, so I got this opportunity. I'm going to go to Charleston this evening, and then I'm going to see an opera performance there, and I'm going to write about it. Um, I have an opera blog called Taminophile, TAMINOPHILE, .com, where I write about opera, but I haven't done as much writing about music lately as I would like to do, because it really does fill my heart when I do. Um, so I'm going to Charleston to see this. Friend of mine is involved in the production. Um, really, really wonderful guy. Um, Fabulous singer. I don't recall. I think he's not singing in this production, but he's on the production end. Rather, he's producing it rather than performing in it. And that is a different skill, believe you me. I've done some producing. I love doing that kind of work. I really, really do. I love sitting behind the table and listening to people, and I love, helping people to meet their potential vocally. Um, I think I think if I had had better sense when I was younger and probably better direction, I would have done well, with a career on the piano bench, um, guiding young singers at the university and conservatory level. Um, but it is what it is. It was what it was. Yeah, I can't really go into that so much. So I'm so glad to see everybody. I'm going to copy the link and put it up here if anybody wants to come up and join me, because that would be fun too. Okay. So, I want to also, um, I don't know, we don't have very many people in the chat. But in case there are people, hey Kenny, wow, glad to see you. In case there are people who come in or who watch it after the fact, I want to make sure that I thank everybody in the world, because I want to thank everybody who subscribes, everybody who comes and watches and clicks like and everything. Um, um, I want to also let you know I have a bunch of patterns on Ravelry. I have a bunch of merch on Teespring. It's no longer on Etsy, it's on Teespring. Um, and I am immensely grateful for everybody who has shown me any kind of support in the past, which includes buying my patterns, my memberships on YouTube and Patreon. I also have Cash App. I have PayPal. Some people have bought my patterns without going through Ravelry, because some people object to Ravelry for various reasons, but they have bought my patterns directly by just sending me money through PayPal. I'm okay with that. Um, so I'm just immensely grateful for all of the support that I've gotten all along. Also, let's talk about scheduling. This is a Friday. Normally, I would do a Friday afternoon thingy, because if I don't do if I don't have something pre-recorded and uploaded to be able to schedule, I'll just go on live on a Friday. Saturdays, I used to do stuff, but I normally don't post on Saturdays nowadays. Sundays, I do poetry readings. Mondays, I do my Monday Men. I have interviews with men in yarn. They're turning out to be my favorite things to do ever because I meet so many absolutely wonderful men, and honestly, I want to marry every last one of them. Um, Probably not possible, but if you would choose one of them at random for me, I would be okay with that. Um, because they're all really, really wonderful. Tuesday, I have Topic Tuesday. Wednesday, I have Wednesday free for alls. Thursday, I usually don't have anything. Um, okay. Oh, thank you, Mr. H. I'm so glad you came up, and I'm always thrilled to see you. And also give Mrs. H my very best. And baby H, well, I know baby H is still in formation stages, but you know what I mean. Um, hey, Kenny,
Hey,
how you doing?
doing all right. Believe it or not, I have not been to bed yet.
I'm not surprised. It's okay if you want to take a nap here too.
I've, uh, I will say I did take a little nap during one of the live streams I was watching. I can't remember who, but I slept until I guess about I don't know 12 or so. But then I've been up ever since.
Oh, Daniel says it's 9 a.m. there and he needs to go to sleep. 9 a.m. is sometimes when I'm getting up.
Nice to
But
meet you too, Patty
oh
and
yeah.
Sabrina.
Uh oh, if you don't know Sabrina, you must. Sabrina is wonderful. Patty, not sure I've met you before. I probably have, but I have a mind like a sieve. But I love Wisconsin. I spent a substantial part of my childhood in Minnesota,
Hmm.
so I've always loved the Midwest. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, Sabrina, how is your son doing? Okay, let's see, Coco. Oh,
Yeah, me and
Coco,
Coco. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know what I was going to say. Yeah, it's the middle of the night. I don't know what I'm doing, really.
I was
But
gonna say me and Coco we're hooked on these late night live streams.
mm, I love the middle of the night live streams with Coco. Um, a week or two ago, it seems I was up on a panel in one of Coco's and offended people, and I don't remember how I did. But I offend people every day, so it's not all that big a deal. But okay. Oh, how lovely, Sabrina. Sabrina has been such a wonderful supporter. Um, Sabrina, I would love if you've been looking at my most recent pattern. I would love to have your feedback on that. Sabrina,
Patty.
also one of my testers,
Yeah.
and she sends me just beautiful pictures.
Patty Pierce, if you ever get the chance to ever watch one of Coco's lives, you won't be disappointed.
Disappointed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'll thank me later. You'll thank me later, because they are very entertaining and fun at the same time.
And we talk about a lot of different things there, don't we, Coco?
Mhm. So
But anyway, yeah. So, anyway, as I was saying, I had intended this to be 4 p.m. instead of 4 a.m., but then Daniel let me know that I had scheduled it for 4 a.m. accidentally, which is okay. And I thought, why not? Because I was going to have to cancel the 4 p.m. Because I got the chance to go to Charleston and go to a performance this evening, Friday evening. And I don't get the opportunity to see live music much and to write about it very often. And I used to really do that a lot more, and it really, Linda, wow,
Melinda, if I remember right, she's over in the UK, isn't she?
she is.
That's what I was thinking.
So it's
They're 6 hours.
9 a.m. there, yeah.
They're 6 hours ahead of us over there.
Okay. Okay, Daniel
So
is
it's
leaving
just
us now. Get some sleep and, rest
good
well
night,
and everything else.
Daniel.
Um, but yeah, um, Daniel's such a sweetie and so talented.
Yes.
With the colors and everything. Oh my gosh.
I
Anyway, um, yeah, so I got the opportunity to go to Charleston, but that's about a 4 hour drive.
hmm
Um, so if I had really scheduled this for 4 p.m., I would have had to cancel. So actually, it's not that bad an accident that I scheduled it for 4 a.m. instead. I will go back to bed and get a little more sleep when we're done here. Uh, excuse me. Oh, I can feel it coming on now. but um, but anyway, that's how it goes. Um,
Mhm.
so Kenny, we were talking at one point. I'm going up to Black Mountain, which is near Asheville, in mid-November, and that's a bit of a schlep for you, right? As I recall, at first I was thinking you were near Knoxville, but you're closer to Nashville, really, correct?
Actually, I'm closer to Knoxville than I am Nashville, because
Oh,
Nashville is about a 4 hour drive.
well, yeah, Tennessee and North Carolina both share that thing where they're like
Mm.
really, really wide, where it takes like 6 hours to get across them.
Yeah, I'm about I'm about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from Knoxville.
Mm, okay. So, but
Depending on traffic and depending on how fast you drive. you know?
I drive like an old guy who knows what car insurance costs. Um, So yeah, I don't drive all that fast. And besides, I drive a Sonata. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if I drove, well, no one would ever expect me to drive a Mustang or a Camaro, but you know, I drive like an old guy who knows what car insurance costs. That's all I can say about it. At one point, I did have a BMW.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I got it. I bought it for my 50th birthday. I was very impressed with my own generosity. Um, and I really enjoyed it for several years. But being a German car,
Mm-hmm.
after a few years, I could tell, you know, this
Mm-hmm.
car is gonna take some. It's gonna start getting expensive to maintain pretty
Mm-hmm.
darn soon. So I traded it in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've had people tell me that that the foreign cars like that are a lot more expensive than the American made ones.
It depends upon which ones. What I have read and what I have experienced would suggest that the European cars are more expensive to purchase and more expensive to maintain. A lot of
Mm.
the Asian cars, particularly, um, you know, we all know about Toyota and Honda and how um, their reliability is like legendary. Um, Sabrina says she doesn't drive, but she's a fast walker. Um, oh, Patty is saying that a Mitsubishi Outlander is very expensive for repair. I'm not surprised. I watch a lot of automotive channels on YouTube, and honestly, haven't heard a lot of praise for Mitsubishi in terms of long-term reliability. Um, so Linda has a Toyota hybrid. Good for you, Linda. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I can only talk about my own experience. I'm not an authority at all on well, I'm not an authority on anything in the world. Um, but I can only talk about my experience. I had a Toyota for like 12 years, and
Mhm.
it would I'm sure it is still running, probably in the hands of some, you know, I'm sure when I sold it, it went to some um, either a teenage driver who needed something cheap for a first car, or maybe even a very poor family who needed something cheap for a family car. Because, you know, it wasn't physically, it had a few blemishes in terms of reliability. It was not going anywhere anytime soon.
Mhm.
And it had like 267,000 miles on it when I traded it in, or when I sold it. But it was still not going anywhere anytime soon.
Mhm. I remember we used to have a Toyota, and it was an '86 model, and it had a busted tail light cover.
Hmm.
So we were saying we're just gonna go buy just that one piece, the tail light cover, But come to find out, you have to buy the whole bag because it's all one piece. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
whole
separate.
assembly thing. Yeah.
And that was going to cost a pretty penny. And I said, well, forget that.
Patty Pierce has a Pacifica with over 300,000 on it. That's unusual for a Chrysler product based on what I have read and heard. I've never owned one, so I don't know for sure. But based on what I have read and heard, that is unusual for a Chrysler product. So I think that's really good. And nowadays what they're saying, because in the auto trade, with all of the supply chain difficulties, and there's a chip shortage and there's a magnesium shortage, um, they're all saying that just instead of getting something new, just put your money into keeping what you have running and drive it until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
So,
Well, my
for
like
go
I
ahead.
said, my yeah, like I said, my cousin still got an old uh 78 or 79 1-ton pickup truck, and that thing's still running today. And the only thing he's basically done, I will say, the biggest thing he's actually done is rebuilt the distributor, and has been about and changed the rear end in it to help save on the gas mileage. But as far as touching that motor or touching that transmission to rebuild it, no, he's never done that.
Actually, for a 30-year-old truck, that's not an awful lot.
He's actually kept it up. He's actually maintained it. He's changed his oil and serviced his
Yeah.
transmission,
And what
and
kind did you say it was?
he's done all. It's a it's a 78 or 79 1-ton Ford pickup truck,
Oh,
and
yeah, from what I read, they're indestructible.
it's got a 351. It's got a 351 modified uh, engine in it, which is bored out to be a small block 400.
Oh, excuse me. Sabrina says I look like I'm about to fall asleep.
Hmm.
Uh, but I'm not really, because I'm having fun right now. Hey, Joyce.
Hey, Joyce.
Um, so yeah, I can talk about cars all day long because I love cars, always have. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Even since I mean, before I could drive, um,
Yeah.
I was reading Motor Trend magazine, and
Hmm.
I think I've read that longer than any other magazine, because I still get it every month. Um, uh, but I also nowadays I watch a lot of automotive YouTubers, and a lot of them, I mean, some of them talk about maintenance and long-term stuff, and you learn, and some of them have a huge amount of experience working in car maintenance over like 30 or 40 years, and you
Have a
learn
good one,
from their
Patty.
experience. Sorry.
Oh, I was saying bye to Patty.
Oh, okay. Bye bye, Patty. Glad you were here.
I didn't mean to
Yeah,
cut you off.
some of the automotive YouTubers, they talk about a lot of the ones that last forever and the ones that don't.
Mhm.
And some of them last until the warranty runs out, and
Mhm.
that's okay. Or last until the lease is up and you trade it in, and I
Yeah.
guess that's okay too, except I don't lease cars. Um, but then on the other hand, there are those that have really great reputations for long-term reliability and not very many problems. And then there are those whose reputations are slowly but surely um, growing. Because some of the long-term guys will say, "Oh well, I haven't seen enough of this one car or this other car over like 20 or 30 years to be able to tell you, how it's going to fare." Um, but at the same time, for the first 10 years, most of them are doing pretty darn good.
Yeah. Well, what I like about the older models like that is uh, they had thicker metal in them, and they also didn't have all these high dollar computer sensors on them like today's cars do. You don't have to spend no $200 or $300 just on one little computer sensor to make it run,
Yeah, I
and you
mean
don't
that.
and you don't have to take half the car apart to get to certain things. Whereas these ones nowadays, the way they're making them now, you got to take half the car apart just to get to one certain thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to take the engine out to change the oil filter, there's a problem. But some of them are just designed that way to save space, but in the long run, it doesn't work out that well. Um, Now, was it you, or I think it was you, wasn't it? Didn't you recently complete, or a few months ago, complete an auto, um, some kind of an auto
Yes.
service kind of
So
training?
I went to college. I went to a technical school, and I got
Mm-hmm.
my I got my certificate. I went for the certificate program. Um, but come to find out, there's more stuff that I actually need to do. I need to find an ASE certification location to be able to get my ASE certification in all the areas of the vehicle. Like I have to take a test, an ASE certification test on everything that deals with the vehicle, the engine performance, uh, transmissions, uh, brakes, power steering, um, the air conditioning, and all that, all the parts of all. See, I thought once I got the certificate program, once I got through with the certificate program, I thought I could just go out here and get a job, but the professor
A
said
few
no.
years ago, that I'm sure that was possible, but now, in today's world, everything is different. You know. So
Yeah.
are you focused on like all brands or a specific type or
Well, I mean, I'll work on I work on gasoline engines and things, but and I'll help anybody. I'll help anybody out there that needs, and of course, I still need to work on ordering some. I have some tools and stuff, but I still need some other things. I need that diagnostic tool thing
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do diagnostics on vehicles now, because I still don't have none of that.
And those diagnostic tools, they can be very, very
Well,
expensive.
I've been
Yeah.
told. Depending on what brand you get, um, I've been told they can run up to $1,500 or more.
Oh, I'm quite sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I think given your area, I'm thinking that a lot of the American brands would be, if you wanted to specialize,
Mm-hmm.
um, that some of the American brands, as well as some of the mainstream um, foreign brands, would probably be, if you wanted to go in that direction, would be good. But I don't see many like Alfa Romeos coming to Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
or even Porsches in
Yeah.
Tennessee. You'll probably see VWs there,
Well, yeah.
uh, but not that many Porsches.
We're we're actually. I'm starting to see things now to where they're actually uh, coming out with electrical cars now, and and my professor and his assistant both told me, said if we go to all electrical, that's basically gonna leave me basically pretty much nothing to work. Nothing to work on really, because
Well, then,
then you had to go to another school to learn how to work on electrical. You know.
well, I think the internal combustion engines are not going away. Um, I know that I think that nowadays there's a lot of emphasis on the electrics and the hybrids.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that a lot of that is short-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and um, while I don't see that going away, I think that also the internal combustion engines are not going to go away either.
Hmm. Well, I just know that he told me one day, and uh, my professor did. He was watching a program on TV or something somewhere, and he was saying that they said on that program that he was watching that they said by the year of 2025, GM General Motors will no longer be producing the internal combustion engine. Now, I don't know. I don't know how true that is, or
I know that some government regulations have come into effect with lofty goals for 2035 I don't know what's going on in for 2025. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that with those long-term goals, with regulations, they
Mm-hmm.
change over time. I mean, we've seen that in the past with home energy and that sort of thing. Um, I'm not saying internal combustion is the be all and end all, but I don't see it going away as quickly as some people do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is not something where I am an expert. I'm just talking about stuff that I've read about and you know, I'm not even sure that I've read, well, I know that I haven't read everything that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows? I could be completely wrong. It certainly wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. I think we've put everybody else to sleep by talking about cars. Hey, Reggie.
Hey, Reggie. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just have to wait till those
Exactly. Exactly.
years come by.
But honestly, I think since you have just completed a training program and you're young and you're just working out where you're going to be professionally in the automotive world, I think that the more you learn on a broad scale, the better off you'll be.
I
If
just,
I'm sure if that makes sense to you.
yeah. Well, I just would hate to think of how much it would cost to, when it messes up, how much it would cost to repair it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about everything.
Talking about if everything went, I mean, if all the cars went electric and things. Well, there's a lot of computer stuff. A lot of them are doing that now. Yeah. So.
I recall back in the day reading automotive reviews where they used to like do comparisons of like the cost to fix, say, a fender bender, like a bumper scrape or something, with this car versus that car. And it would be part of a normal, consumer review for any kind of car where they would say, if you like have some sort of a fender scrape or a bumper scrape with this car, this is how much it's going to cost to fix, as opposed to that other car, um, and the other car might cost the same, but it might have a totally different repair cost.
Mm.
Um, so, but I don't see that so much in the automotive reviews that I read. But I mean, I, that was just body work, but also so many of them nowadays, they're built to be so small and the engine's so compact and built and just packed in a way that it's really hard to work on the engines themselves. Like I wasn't really exaggerating that much when I was saying you have to take the engine out to change the oil filter, because I'm sure there are some where you have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I know I've learned that it just. Just about take it apart, just put a battery in. Some brands you have to take it apart just to put a battery in.
And I grew up with big Chevys from the 60s and 70s with big V8s, where I, you know, there was room to work. There was spare room in the, in the engine compartment. Even after like the downsizing of 77, there was still spare room to work. You could find what you needed to find. Hey, Blind Stitches.
Hey, Blind Stitches, and good night, Coco.
Oh, Coco's leaving us. Night, night. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cars are not what they once were. But then again, nothing is what it once was.
Nope.
So, why? Okay, what you doing there, Connie?
I was looking on my phone here. You gonna do a
How
video
many different live chats do you have going on right now?
Well, I actually just connected with a Filipino person that just connected with me not too long ago, and I had to figure out how to. I just now checked my email and got and connected back with a return to favors. So, yeah. She's actually from the Philippines, but working in Malaysia.
Never been to that part of the world. I have
Neither
a
have I.
good friend from New York who is now teaching English in Thailand. And he's always encouraging me to come visit. I would love to at some point, but I just haven't been able to. Oh, Sabrina, keep procrastinating. You can stay with us for hours.
But yeah, I just now made it to one of her. I've been binge watching her videos throughout the night, and I just now made it to one of her live premiere videos.
Ah,
But I don't have the sound on it loud, like, so I don't have it where to where you get the feedback.
well, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of content does she have? Or is that something you don't share in mixed company?
She does like cooking, and right now she's showing a road trip that she took from Bucket, Damansara. Is how you pronounce that?
Not sure.
Anyway, it's in Malaysia. But she's only got like 90 some videos or something out, but she's got well over 1,000 subscribers.
So Linda was just telling us that she lived in Malaysia when she was young. Her dad was a Royal Marine. How cool would that be, except for the military part? Well, actually, part of me is going with the whole Gilbert and Sullivan thing. We soldiers of the Queen are linked in friendly tether. Upon the battle scene, we fight the foe together. But beyond that, I have no conception of military life. And I'm okay with that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a the channel name. I'm assuming is how you pronounce that. Maganda Bug. Manganda.
It sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah. And then Bug is bug. So
Bug, of course.
yeah.
Okay. So, so you're up awfully late. I'm actually up early. I
I've
toss.
been up all night, brother. I hadn't even been. I hadn't been to bed much.
I was actually, honestly, I've been to bed twice, and then I came back in here and did a little bit, and then I was back in bed, and I was just surfing on my phone, and I got a message from someone asking me why I was scheduled at 4 a.m. instead of 4 p.m. When
Yeah,
really it was an
I was thinking
accident.
the same thing. I was thinking, wait a minute, he doesn't normally go live this early in the morning.
Yeah. But you know what? It's worked out well because I would not have been able to do the 4 p.m. today. But, I try to do something 5 days a week.
Mm,
Um, at one point, I was doing 7 days a week, but I couldn't maintain that.
yeah,
I mean, 5 days sometimes is a struggle.
I've had people say with a YouTube channel, you really need to be consistent with it and things, and need to really put out some videos and content and
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
so on. Be consistent with it.
Well, yeah, one thing I know from business, since I spent so many years in the corporate world, and that was nightmare enough. But things that I learned include, expanding on the things that work. And for me, what works is the live streams and the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I enjoy those. Um, they're easy to do, and I get good response. So, um, as opposed to other things, if I try to do tutorials,
Mm-hmm.
and I do them occasionally, I do tutorials, but I don't think it's my long suit. People tell me that I do them well, or that I would be a good teacher, but I don't think the tutorial videos are my long suit. Um, I do the Sunday readings, the poetry readings because I want to, because I love the poetry, and I'm just not going to stop,
Mm-hmm.
um, regardless of the response. But the things that really pay off the best in terms of response and viewership and and actually the things I enjoy doing the most are going to be the interviews and the live streams. And I think that everybody needs to find, what they do the best. Hey, Sharon Snow.
Hey, Sharon Snow.
Joyce is saying she hasn't seen any of my tutorials yet. There aren't that many of them. That's okay. And I don't think they're as good as other people's tutorials, but sometimes I have put them out there before. I want to expand the interviews. I do the Monday Men. I love doing the Monday Men. I want to expand and do women and couples and teams perhaps that might not fit into the Monday Men model to do on other days of the week, because I really enjoy doing the interviews and the conversations, because they really turn out well, and people tell me they enjoy them.
Yeah, I like your channel and your videos and things. I I don't get over to watch your videos as often as I'd like to, but I do enjoy the ones.
Well, yeah, that's one of the challenges when you grow and you know more and more and more people. You just can't visit everyone that you want to,
Uh-huh.
and it's okay.
Yeah, I don't see how these bigger channels get to a lot of their folks, especially when they're like over 15.
Linda, thank you so much. I have to do this again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But Linda just gave me a very generous gift.
Yeah, my dad was asking me who I was talking to.
Well, telling me,
I told him, I said, David Browning.
I don't know how you would describe me to, your dad, but if I tried to tell you how to describe me, it would probably come off as self-disparaging. So I'll just refrain.
He remembers you as the bearded yarn guy.
That's me, Bearded Yarn Dudes.
Yeah.
We listen to you every now and then.
What did he just say?
He said we listen to you. We listen to you every now and then.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I think that's really great. Um, all the live streams are always there to listen to again. And let's see, the Mondays are pre-recorded, the Sundays are pre-recorded, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are usually lives.
Mm-hmm.
And
I usually try to attend all the live streams and be able to come up on the panel.
Well, I always like it when you're up on the panel, Yeah, because you know, it's good to have people who look at things from all different sorts of viewpoints. I don't think there are a lot of ways that we look at life differently. Um, I think our life circumstances are very different, probably, but I think that we have probably not very different viewpoints on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's okay. Oh, some cute girl is messaging you, isn't she? Right?
No, not hardly.
Yeah. Oof.
Not hardly. What is that? I had
My
someone else.
legs are jumping because I forgot to take my pills last night. I have restless legs. Am I the only one who has restless legs syndrome? Oh, it kills me. It keeps me from sleeping all the time.
You got restless leg syndrome?
Oh, Joyce has it also. Yeah, I have it. It's bad. And if I forget to take my meds, then I'm miserable all night long. And if I take them late, then it takes a long time for them to take effect. And I think I forgot to take them yesterday because my ankles right now are just bouncing off of the floor. I mean, I have seen, actually, there are videos out there for different ways to get around it without the commonplace meds that those of us who know about restless legs take. There are certain yoga positions, there are certain kinds of yoga mats, there are certain things that you can do, but you know, I'm not fit enough to do yoga poses. So it's a struggle for me if I don't get the meds. Okay. Anyway, I've been on for about an hour now. I didn't realize I would do this, but I do feel the need to go back to bed and get a little bit more sleep if my ankles will allow me to do so. But in just such a case, I want to thank everybody who's been watching me all along. Thank you, Connie, for coming up.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, you're always welcome on my board. And you know, everybody who's watching me, you know, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the standard YouTube crap, and keep coming back. But I'm going to have to go back to bed right now. Good night, or good morning, I guess, everybody.
Good morning, everyone, and good night for the people that's like right now. It's actually 5. Like in the Philippines, it's in the evening in the Philippines. So
yeah, it's like just a couple of minutes after 5 here in the eastern U.S. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna click end now. Bye bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.